So once upon a time, a man once asked the Buddha, "What is it that you gain from meditation?" And the Buddha looked at the man and he said, "Nothing." And the man was shocked, right? He couldn't possibly imagine why would someone do something if they gain nothing from doing it. And so he said to the Buddha, "So why is it that you meditate?" And then the Buddha looked at him and the Buddha said, "Let me tell you what I've lost." And he proceeded to name all the things that he has lost through meditation. Anger, jealousy, fear, anxiety, depression, all of the things that were serving as barriers to his freedom, right? And see, in the modern world, most of us try to find freedom through the acquisition of external things, which is why we chase after the nice car, the nice house, the luxurious vacations, the idealistic relationship, right? And paradoxically, the more we chase after these things, the more freedom evades us. The more we chase after these things, it seems as if the more we lose our freedom and the more imprisoned we become. And I think the thing that we don't realize is that freedom cannot be found by acquiring external things. Freedom has to be uncovered by letting go of the things that are causing you to not be free. The other day I was sitting to myself and I was thinking how we are the most technologically advanced generation, right? We have everything at our fingertips. I could go on my phone right now and I could, order food, and within 20 minutes or so, I could have it delivered to my front door. Or if I wanted to go to India today, I could book a flight tomorrow and I'll be in India the next day. Or if I wanted to, for example, drive somewhere, I could get in my car and I'll be at my destination in 20 minutes, when compared to back in the day, people had to walk a lot of miles to get where they wanted to go, right? So we have everything at our disposal, right? Everything at our fingertips. Life is sort of easy in a physical sense compared to back in the day. And I was thinking how even though we have these things, even though we're so technologically advanced, right? It seems as if the rate of depression continues to increase. It seems as if the more advanced we become, the less happy people are, the more depressed we are. And so if our freedom was to be found in the things of the world, right? If freedom was to be found in the external things that we're trying to acquire, then we're supposed to actually be the happiest and the most free generation. But the reality is that we're not, right? And the reality is that the freedom that we're seeking, the freedom that we're trying to find, already exists within us. The freedom that we're trying to acquire is already right here. I heard someone say once that the place that we're trying to find is already the place that we're looking from, right? And so we're looking for something that is already within us, that is already right here. And it's not until you uncover the things that are stopping you from truly being free, right? It's not until you let go of the things that are serving as barriers to your freedom, then and only then will we know true freedom, right? I made a video a few months ago where I was saying that you sort of have to lose yourself to find yourself. And I was saying that if you were to look at a child, right? If you were to really observe a child, you'll realize that that child is free. Every child that comes into the world is free. A child isn't concerned about the things of its past, and it isn't worried and anxious about the future. A child is capable of living in the present moment and just being itself, right? Free to just be itself, to play, to love, to do anything. But as a child begins to grow older, the child begins to develop a self that was sort of programmed into it, programmed by its experiences and programmed by the people around it. And so the child begins to lose its freedom, right? And because the child has lost its freedom, the child was then taught that the freedom that it is seeking, or he or she is seeking, can only be found in the world, right? So the child came into the world free, and then the child lost its freedom, and then the child was then told that for you to then regain this freedom, you have to go into the world and strive for success, strive for the nice car, strive for the nice house, find a person that will make you feel complete, right? And so the child loses that sense of freedom within it, and then begins to look outside of itself to try and find it, right? And that's the story of most of us. Most of us don't realize that what we're looking for is already here. And the more you try to find it in the world, the more unhappy and the more imprisoned that you become. You know, the reality is that you could have it all and still not have it all, right? Because if you have nothing right here, then you have nothing at all. If you're not free within you, then you're never going to be free. If you're holding on to your fears, holding on to your anxieties, holding on to the things and the people that have hurt you in your past, then no matter how much money you make, or no matter what car you're driving, no matter how many vacations you can go on, right? You'll never truly be free. Because outside success without inside success is no success at all, right? If you have everything, but you have nothing here, you have nothing at all. And most of us really don't realize that we're sort of stuck in a rat race. A rat race of searching outside of us without taking the time to look within. A rat race, or, you know, this thing or social construct that society has put into place to tell us that we're not worthy unless we acquire the things of the world. We're not worthy until we make a certain amount of money. We're not worthy until we become important to the eyes of others, right? And a lot of us really live that way. We really do live that way, right? And when I think about it, there are a lot of rich and unhappy people in this world. A lot of these celebrities that you see, they have everything, but they're still depressed. They're still fearful. They're still anxious. They don't have any self-love at all, right? You can have a Lamborghini and still be unhappy. And then another guy could be taking the bus and he could be completely happy, right? But if you're happy, you know, the man that is happy taking the bus is wealthier than the man that is sad in the Lamborghini, right? Because he has something that the guy that is driving the Lamborghini doesn't have, and that thing is internal peace, is internal fulfillment, is freedom from the inside, right? You know, what's the point of gaining the whole world and losing your soul? You know, what's the point of coming into this world and you come into this world fulfilled, right? You come into this world with freedom, and then you go out of this world and you've completely lost your sense of freedom. Because the world has told you that what you're seeking for is outside of you. What you're seeking for is in the world. And so you're always looking for it. But to really be fulfilled and free and content in this world, you have to be in the world but not be of the world. You have to be in the world but realize that the world within you, or what you have right here, is really what you need. You have to understand that you have a presence within you, right? An awareness within you, a consciousness within you that supersedes anything that the world can give to you. And once you take the time to really go within yourself, sit with yourself, really identify the things that are really affecting you and serving as barriers to your freedom. You bring awareness, or you shine light on those things that are really holding you back. It's not until you do that then you really get a taste of internal fulfillment and internal joy, internal, happiness. It's not until you do that then you really get in touch with those things. And recently, I feel as if I'm getting to a place in which I'm a lot more happy internally, right? I'm not saying I'm perfect by any degree, or I have it all within me, right? I do have it all within me. I'm saying that I'm not completely there yet, is what I'm saying. But the more that I sit with myself and I face the things that I've been running from, I really get in touch with the things that have been holding me back. I shine awareness on them. The more I do that, the more I begin to feel a sense of completeness within me. And it feels good, because you're not dependent on anything or anyone to give you that. You're becoming more of your own source. You're becoming more of the source of everything that you seek or that you're trying to find in the world. And my wish is for everyone to really get to that place. To get to the place in which they feel so complete within them, to the point in which they realize that anything outside of them merely has to be an addition. Right? They're so complete within them to the point in which their lives are so fulfilled, even in the simple things. Even something as simple as going for a walk in nature. Even something as simple as, walking barefoot on the sand. Right? That's the place in which I would really love everyone to be. But the more we try to find that place in the world, the more and the more we're going to continue to miss it. And I believe that is one of the reasons why most people in this world are depressed. Because we've been told a narrative that we always have to, strive to achieve something, to be someone. And a lot of people are unhappy because they're failing to live up to the expectation that society places on us, right? And that's imprisonment. That's bondage. I'm not telling you not to achieve, but what I am saying is that you don't have to achieve anything to be someone. You already are someone. Your achievements don't define you. The things that you gain from the world do not define you. The only thing that defines you is what you have within here. And all of us has the same thing within us. Whatever you want to call it, God, the source, whatever you want to call it, it exists right here. And you can find it. You can get back in touch with it. But you have to deal with the things that are holding you back. You have to face them. Because if you don't face them, then you always feel as if your life is slowly running away from you. And you always feel uneasy. You always feel unhappy. You'll always feel fulfilled. So I say all this to say, the freedom that you're searching for is within you. You won't find that freedom in the world. The things of the world are nice to have, right? I want to have a nice car. I want to have a nice house. I want to be able to take extravagant vacations to places that I've always wanted to go to, right? I want to have a really good relationship that I believe that in which I connect with someone, right? I want to have all those things. But before you try to acquire those things, get back in touch with yourself. Gain possession of yourself. Work on the things that are holding you back. Your fears, your past traumas, your scars, all those things that you're running away from. Shine light on them. Face them. Address them. Sit with them. Because if you don't, no matter how much you strive to fill that void with things of the world and with people of the world, you will always feel unfulfilled. You'll always be unhappy. And you will never truly know freedom. So, thank you for watching and really ponder on what I just said. Really ponder on what I spoke about in this video. And really, 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 really get in touch with the presence that is within you. Because the freedom that you seek, it's already here. And you don't have to gain anything to get it. You just have to let go of the things preventing you from reconnecting to it. Peace and blessings.